how, the go-to-market strategy. How do we access this all-important channel? It's about getting your foot in the door, correct? I mean, that's what we're all trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do as well. So how do you get your foot in the door when everybody else is trying to get through the same door? It's all about, she talked a little bit about having a story, having a compelling story that really resonates and connects with the customer. It's about that value proposition. It's having a unique selling proposition overall. What can help is having those great reviews, accolades, ratings, those gold medals. Data helps as well. If you're doing something in the US, you've got great IRI data and Nielsen data, or you've got success stories in certain markets or with certain accounts, that always plays. But also having the ability to invest in marketing and resources with that customer, showing that you're trying to help them make more money. The great thing about cruise line companies is they're savvy marketers. And they're constantly looking for new programs, new ideas to create that memorable experience with their customers, to get them to do what? To come back, right? So we talk about we need to get those repurchases from our distributors. That's what we're looking for, and that's what those guys are looking for on board those ships. But your marketing investment doesn't have to cost a lot of money. If you had that great ambassador, that wonderful winemaker, a distiller that can educate customers and consumers on board ship, that's a huge benefit, and it really doesn't cost a lot of money. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples from my history and my relationships, just to give you just a sense of what you can bring to the table. So this is Bill Whiting. Bill Whiting is the education director at Banffy Vintners. And he's done a tremendous amount of work in the general market, really telling the story of Banffy wines. And so this summer, he's on board a Regent cruise ship doing education and winemaker dinners. But also, because the cruise line is coming down the coast of Italy, the value he brings is an excursion to the Castello Banffy estate. Now, not all of us has that opportunity, but if you have something like that, it can truly benefit you. That's adding value to Banffy. It's adding value to the cruise line as well. This is the Wine and Dine program from RCCL. Basically, a number of different levels. It's wine and dine, so you sign up for your package of wines right up front when you get on board, and as you sit at the table for your dinner, you're presented your wines. So you have different levels within each level, gold, premium, platinum. There's different levels in terms of cases, 5 bottles, 7 bottles, 10 bottles, 12 bottles. If you're on this program, you're selling serious wine, big time. We had another program with Royal Caribbean Champagne. Champagne is obviously growing. It's a huge margin revenue generator for these customers. So Royal Caribbean created champagne bars. We were part of that. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of revenue overall. And then finally, we had a great program with our lower end, entry-level Bordeaux wines from Lafite. So we did 750 DBR tastings in 16 ships. We actually went in, our national account guy went in and trained the food and beverage managers and the wait staff to conduct these tastings. But we also had a 2-bottle pack on board. We sold 12,000 2-bottle packs. So again, it's all about not only what's in the bottle, but what sort of investment you're willing to make with these customers. So what is the best route to market? There's a number of different ways you can go about it. You can go direct to the buyer. So we heard at Capital Grille some real challenges of getting connection with the buyer. Same issue happens in travel retail, as you can imagine. You have ship chandlers. We actually use Carasem, but that was through our broker. Good relationship. My recommendation for all of you is use a travel retail broker. And here's the reason why. The broker has a staff. They have the know-how. The amount of logistics and paperwork is incredible. You don't have that capability. I don't have that capability. So I would highly recommend using a broker that really focuses in on travel retail. One of the reasons is they know the game. They have the relationships. They know what the buyers are looking for. They know what RFPs and programs are coming down the pike. It's also important to have a variety of different offerings, different quality, different style, to make sure that you have an opportunity, because there's going to be a lot of programs hitting at different times of the year. One key point is using a broker is not free. Typically, it takes about 10% commission. If you're driving a lot of volume, you can actually negotiate down to about 5%, as we have done. But it's important that you build this into your price. Same thing with marketing investment. We had a program where we basically paid $50,000 to one cruise line. We built that into the price. So it's not just about volume. Make sure that you're protecting your margin. You may have to give a little bit here and there, but margin is what really burns the engine, right? So it's important that you keep that in balance. Another key point is the fact that most of these contracts, and you will sign a contract, they're 2-year contracts. So you must be able to hold that price over a 2-year period. Sometimes it's very challenging, especially with some specialized wines and even spirits. The best advice I can give you is work with a broker that you can work with, that you can trust. It's about doing your homework. I've got a number of recommendations. We used to work with Devine & Sons, Southern Glaciers. They have their own brand new, maybe the past 2 years, travel retail division. There's EM&P, there's Slate Wines, there's AMI Group, but it's really up to you. I think this message has been consistent from one presenter to the next. You need to do your homework. Another opportunity, though, is to contact the International Cruise Line Association. They're based down in Florida. They used to actually do, in their conferences, do a trade show where you can bring your wines and show the buyers. I think that's basically been pushed aside. But give them a call and seek some of their advice. They can help you steer through this important channel. Now, in regards to airlines, I haven't spent a lot of time on airlines for an obvious reason. This is a much more challenging segment because you don't have the same type of activation points. There's been tremendous consolidation in the industry overall. Little marketing opportunity. You know, a lot of times it comes down to price overall. But in many cases, depending upon the airlines that you're working with, in Denver, it's a hub. Phoenix, it's a hub. Dallas, it's a hub. By law, by state law, you actually have to use a distributor. You have to sell through a distributor. So you need to be in a situation where you have that relationship and that distributor has that understanding. They've got to take those cases. So there's a margin issue there as well. So like everything else, you know, patience, kicking down the doors, but having that tenacity, but recognizing that this is a business that's here today, gone tomorrow. You need to look at this as incremental value to your overall business. One final note, if you do decide to participate, work with a broker, that it's important that you build that relationship, that you stay in contact with that broker. Strong communication, because those RFPs, those proposals are flying through his desk, and you want to be on that radar when those proposals hit, okay? So, I wish all of you the very best. I'm fighting the same fight you're fighting. Toast to your success. Thank you very much.